Hey guys, welcome back to Giggles and Gains. I'm solo today, and I'm not solo because Lucy and I have broken up. I'm solo because last night I actually posted something on my Instagram about kind of feeling a little bit uninspired by content at the moment and like looking for a little bit of guidance of what to create. And I really thought about it. And like one thing that I absolutely love to do from a content point of view is actually educate, motivate and inspire. And the way that Instagram is at the moment, it's very much like short attention. And I'm a fucking talker. I love a good chat. So this really doesn't suit me. So I'm having to really think outside of the box, which I'm actually struggling with. And also like Instagram's really loving at the moment carousel posts. And somebody who's dyslexic, I literally posted one last night and it was fucking full of typos. And I even checked it back and I was like, how did I not see those typos? So I actually was thinking like, right, what can I do to film the type of stuff that I really enjoy doing? And ironically, it's talking. Hey! So I wanted to bring the pod back. Lucy is in Seville at the minute. I messaged her and I was like, babe, I've literally been on a 12-kilometer walk. I want to bring the pod back. I'm going to do a couple of episodes that are like basically like short, sharp top tips. Because when I actually did a poll vote yesterday on my story, so many of you voted that you wanted like tips, you wanted identity shifts, you wanted stuff that's actually going to change the game. And that's the type of stuff that I like talking about. And obviously with this short form content thing, I'm feeling uninspired because I'm probably struggling to compact what I know into shorter form content. So here I am, I'm back. So these little episodes, they're going to be like little mini podcast episodes, hopefully around like 10 to 15 minutes long if I can stop myself from talking. And I want to have like a talking point for each episode that's basically just going to add value. It's going to educate, it's going to give thought processes, perspectives, but also like my personal experience. Because something I was talking about yesterday was very much about like the all or nothing mindset, which is a lot of what our clients come to us about. And that used to be me. And I just don't talk about it anymore because I think like that's so far gone from what I am now. And then I'm like, hang on a minute. No, that's what people want to know about because that's what people struggle with. So before I go off on a tangent about all or nothing, because that's for another episode, the episode that I wanted to do today was one of the biggest things that people come to us to do is to lose 10 kg, strip away some body fat, and they want to get strong and they want to look like they train. Like, I'm not talking about that soft, fluffy look. Like, they're people who are already in the gym. They're people who are training, but they want to find their way back to it. Like, they might have got a little bit lost. They might have had a break from the gym. That's the type of client that we work with. And to get that physique transformation, like to actually go through a mindset and a body transformation that is you looking like you train, you feeling stronger, you feeling more confident in your body. It is actually a process that we follow with clients. So I wanted to just share a couple of top tips for the types of things that we would do. So the first thing that you need to remember is to look like you train, you actually need to have some muscle. Okay, I ain't just talking about being toned. Like, I'm talking about like to look toned, you need to build muscle. If you stripped all of your body fat away, yeah, and you were just the shell, you would literally look like a fucking skinny pencil. Okay, so if you want to look like you train, you want to look toned, you want to look strong, you actually need to build some muscle. And to build some muscle, you need to actually be training with good intensity, good structure, and progressive overload. So what do I mean when I'm talking about that? I mean like not following like wing it workouts or random Instagram sessions, like being the magpie that's attracted to whatever looks shiny and new and exciting. The boring shit works, okay? So when you're actually training in the gym, the basic exercises, the compound exercises like squat, bench and deadlift, they are fantastic foundations to build muscle because they are big exercises that recruit more than one muscle at a period of time. Therefore, you're going to be training the body harder because you're going to be recruiting more than one muscle, which is also going to allow you to lift more load. And we need to lift load to build muscle, okay? We're not going to build muscle lifting the 5 kg dumbbells continuously. It just ain't going to fucking happen. So that's the first thing. You actually need to be building muscle through lifting heavier loads, okay? And then progressing it along. Random workouts, TikTok workouts, Instagram workouts, they are just going to be like an exercise because you actually have to have that progression throughout a period of time for the muscle to have an adaptation to grow with a stimulus. So stimuluses can be a range of totally different things. They could be lifting more load, less rest time, more time under tension, so which is basically like slowing the movement down. It could just be that you can't go up in weight that week, so you're going to be lifting the weight better than the week before. The intensity of what you're doing matters when it comes to building muscle. So when you are following a program, you do want to be following like similar sort of exercises each week so that you can actually monitor and track how you're progressing within that training program. And that would be the first thing. So to look like you train, to look toned, you actually need to be building some muscle, okay? The second thing is, if you are soft at the minute, you have body fat, to look like you train, to look toned, you need to strip that body fat away, okay? So I sometimes speak to women and I say like, right, we probably are looking at losing 10, 15 kilos and they nearly fall off their fucking seat because they've never been that weight before. So they're scared. They don't think they can achieve it, but actually they've never looked like they trained before. And to look like you train, you actually need to strip the body fat away to show the muscle underneath it. Otherwise, you're always going to look soft. And we don't want to look soft. If we want to look like we train, we want to look toned, we need to be able to see that definition. How many times am I going to say strong, toned and trained this podcast episode? Probably about 1,000. So you actually have to strip that body fat away. And to do that, you actually need to be in a calorie deficit, okay? So I used to be like a massive, massive fan of promoting balance and flexibility. And I would honestly say in the first year of online coaching, I wasn't getting as good a results. I'm not going to lie, just it's the truth. And the real thing that switched for me in terms of the results we're getting with clients at the minute, like we're getting clients who are dropping like 6 kg in 8 weeks. We're getting clients who've dropped 10 kg in 8 weeks. Like it is from having routine and structure, consistency and discipline. If you want to be like balanced and flexible, you can lose body fat, but it's going to take longer. Like if you think about the average 5'6" female who's hitting around 10,000 steps a day and she's working out 3 times a week, she's probably going to be able to eat around 1,500 calories for a calorie deficit. If she's going out at the weekend and she's going for a dinner with her family and she's having a bottle of wine, that is going to be like eating into that calorie deficit, which is going to be slowing down fat loss. So I'm not saying you can't go out for dinner. I'm not saying you can't have a bottle of wine, but there does need to be a conversation you have with yourself about how quickly you want to lose that body fat to get the result. And the quicker that you can get through your fat loss, the quicker that you're going to achieve the physique that you want. Therefore, you're going to then go to maintenance sooner, which is going to mean that your metabolism is going to be more efficient because you will have built more muscle. You're going to be able to eat more food because you've got more muscle. You're going to be able to metabolize more food, which is then going to mean that you can have that balance and flexibility out the other side to be able to maintain your result. But if you locked in during your fat loss phase, you're going to find that actually you're going to get that result quicker. So To accelerate that fat loss, the other thing that I absolutely would lean into would be steps. Like, I am a massive fan of steps. Like, I think you should be getting outside in the sunshine. You should be going for a walk every day to clear your head, to have some mindfulness, to get some vitamin D. Yes, the sun is coming out at the moment. And if you're not hitting like 8,000 steps a day, get your fucking arse up. You're really lazy. And I don't care. If you're about to turn around and tell me that you don't have enough time, your health is so important. And actually, somebody who achieves like an average of 8,000 to 10,000 steps a day, research shows that you live for longer. Like, you have got enough time to carve out a 30-minute walk a day. I don't fucking care what you're saying. And actually, if you're sitting on your backside all day, then you're not going to be as healthy as somebody who isn't. And if you are carrying body fat at the moment, then that would be the first place I would be starting, would be to increase that movement. Okay. Next up, we obviously need to talk about food. So, protein. We all know protein is the building blocks of the body. With protein, the reason that we harp on about it so much is because it is actually has a thermogenic effect on the body when we're eating it. So we're actually breaking down protein and burning calories at the same time, because protein is responsible for the majority of our bodily functions. So, for example, it creates hormones, enzymes, it's broken down into amino acids. So it's a really, really efficient way to eat. With your protein, you want to be aiming to have like 30 grams of protein over 4 meals, each meal having 30 grams of protein in it. And that way you're going to get your food in. You need to be thinking about foods that are rich in whole sources of protein, not just jumping straight for the whey, the protein bars, protein yogurts. You want to be eating like good quality food. If you're in fat loss, you are going to be hungry. I'm sorry to say it, like, you're in a calorie deficit. You're giving your body less calories than it needs. So you want to be thinking about food volume, vegetables, fruit, like aiming to have like a big bulk of like, I say 400 grams of cooked vegetables a day. That's my rule of thumb. And that's going to help satiate you alongside the other things that you are eating. I put a couple of notes here so I didn't forget everything I was going through. So we've spoken about sacrifice, spoken about movement, we've spoken about protein, we've spoken about structure and training, and it's 12 minutes. So for you to actually get results, there are just a few little hints and tips to get you started, to get you on your way. If you're kind of doing the basics consistently, that is going to move the needle forward. Okay. Like, if you're in a calorie deficit, you can do that through tracking your calories. You can do it through a meal plan, whatever works for you. I always opt for tracking calories with clients because it teaches you about food. And then if you prefer to eat similar sorts of food every day, have a basic meals. Yeah. Don't overcomplicate them. Like, decision fatigue is real. We are busy women looking after our families with successful careers. Our brains are totally full. We're often feeling a little bit overwhelmed. Like, the last thing you need to be thinking about is, oh, what are we having for lunch? What are we having for breakfast? What are we having for afternoon snack? Breakfast the same, lunch the same, afternoon snack the same. Have a bit of variety with your family for your evening meal. And that way you're removing that decision fatigue. Decision fatigue is real because we are constantly thinking about food. Like, we're all big foodies here. So actually remove that decision fatigue and have that energy that you can spend on other things in your life that are consuming more energy and they are more stressful for you. So basic meals would be my last little tip. So when you are, they're all the practical things. Let's talk about the emotional side of it. When it comes into you and your emotions, what you want to be thinking about is, okay, right, where are my emotional triggers? Do I have an emotional relationship with food? Do I boredom eat? Do I stress eat? Do I not eat when I'm anxious? What are the times of day that little trigger is going off? Like, is it around 3-4 o'clock? I know so many people who have an afternoon slump, and what I would encourage them to do, especially if you have a sweet tooth, would be to actually include something like a baked oats, a Weetabix cheesecake, some fruit, some dark chocolate in around that time of the day, ready for when you're having your slump, so you know that it's coming. If you are somebody who has an emotional relationship with food, have specific eating times. Like I don't like to eat early in the morning, I like to go out for a walk first. So I eat at like 10, 1:30, 4 o'clock, 7, and then I have my ice cream at about 9. So they're my regular eating times. So when I know I'm ravenous the week I'm due on, I know that I've only got to wait until 4 o'clock before I'm going to eat again. So actually see how what I'm doing with everything is I'm creating a routine, and every time I create a routine, it helps remove the decision fatigue. It helps to remove the emotion because I know that next thing is going to be coming up. So guys, I'm going to stop talking there because I've done 15 minutes, but drop some comments below, hit subscribe. Let me know if this sort of like little short form video is really useful to you, and let me know about what sort of topics you'd like me to discuss. I think my next one for next week is going to be about the all or nothing mindset, because that is a subject I just have not spoken about for a really long time, but it's something that I've really, really struggled with throughout the whole of my 20s. So I hope you enjoyed this little snippet and have a great day.